everyone. This is Robert. RJO Network presents another exciting edition of Fall Classic Baseball. The 1919 One and Gone tournament is on the air. We are at the penultimate game of the tournament. We are back here at Weegham Park for game number 14 between the St. Louis Browns and the Chicago Cubs. The Chicago Cubs just don't want to go away, and they're coming away big time. The St. Louis Browns in game number 6 defeated the Detroit Tigers 6-4, then knocked off the Chicago White Sox 9-7 in a heck of a game against the White Sox to move on to the semifinals. The Chicago Cubs had to come back and beat the Boston Red Sox in 10 innings, 5-4, and then they needed 12 innings to beat the St. Louis Cardinals 8-7, which will probably be the game of the tournament. We still, of course, have 2 more games left to go in this one and gone tournament before our Fall Classic Baseball gets put away for at least maybe the next off season. So the Cubs and the Browns, right now, the Cubs did beat one St. Louis team. Now they got to beat another. Can they do that tonight? That is the question here at Weegham Park. So once again, all the fans are here, getting out their cell phones, ready to take pictures with all their great cameras, and lots of drones flying overhead. Well, actually, they're probably using candles at this time, 1919. Let's get started. Starting pitcher for the Chicago Cubs, their number 3 starter, Claude Hendricks. 10 wins, 14 losses, a 121 whip. And he is going to be a C pitcher. So the Cubs are going to have some will be a C pitcher. And we'll see how well he can do here for the Cubs. Ben Witz is first to join us here at Weegham Park. So let's go to the top of the first. And let's see if the St. Louis Browns can do what the Red Sox and the Cardinals could not. Put away the Cubs. Let's find out. Leading off for the Browns is going to be Jimmy Austin. He's at third base, and he is 3 for 10 for the tournament. We're going to use red, white, and blue dice. Cubs are the home team. Once again, the fans are set. They are ready to play. Fast action deck is right next to me, and let's play some ball. 44, that's going to be a leadoff base hit for Jimmy Austin, so he will get a single to start the game. And he does have a steal threat. Stolen base rating is a 10. Killefer is an average arm, and Hendricks has an average arm. And he had how many? He had 8 stolen bases that year out of 16. Nah, he'll hold it first. He'll stay at first. Next up will be the second baseman, Joe Gedeon. He is 4 for 9 for the tournament. So runner on first early for the Browns. 15, and that is going to be an out. And if it's a ground ball, that's going to be a double play. And that is going to be a ground ball to third. That is going to be a double play. So that is hit right to third, picked up by Charlie Deal. On to second, on to first, 2 down. So 2 out double play as Gedeon hits right into that on a ground out. And with 2 outs, the next batter is Jack Tobin. He's at left field. He is 6 for 10 for the tournament. And I believe, if I'm right, I think he has I think he had a bomb, and I didn't write that down. Let me see. Yes, Jack Tobin does have a home run in this tournament. Not many home runs hit in this tournament, but he got one of them. So here comes the pitch from Hendricks. And that's going to be a 42. That's going to be a walk. So right now, Hendricks got the double play, but now he gives up a walk. First walk given up by Hendricks. And now that will bring up this guy. I'm pretty sure nobody will have a problem if I say he is one of the greatest of all time. The first baseman, George Sisler. He is batting 6 for 11 for the tournament. He is tied with Tobin in hits for the Browns. Hendricks will pitch. 41, and that's going to be a base on ball. So now Hendricks is in some trouble here. Runners at first and second. Back-to-back walks by Hendricks. And here comes a great baseball name, Baby Doll Jacobson. He is at center field, and he is 4 for 11 for the tournament. Tobin on at second, Sisson on at first. Top of the first here at Weegham. 23, and that's going to be a strikeout, 1-14. That is an 11, and that's exactly what that is. Swing and a miss, struck them out, and the inning is over. No runs, a couple of walks, and a hit. So Hendricks gets out of it. He only had 69 strikeouts in 1919, but he will get out of the jam. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Starting pitcher for the St. Louis Browns, their number 3 starter, Carl Weilman. Not a bad pitcher. 10 wins and 6 losses, a 1.20 whip. And he is also going to be a C pitcher. So we'll see how both these pitchers not doing pretty well. Maybe the weather had something to do with their bullpen sessions. So let's see how the Cubs work. Leading off for the Cubs will be the right fielder, Max Flack, who hit a big-time bomb in the bottom of the 9th inning to tie the game for the Cubs against the Cardinals. Unbelievable. He is 4 for 11, and he does have a home run. Weilman will pitch. 11, and let's see. Single is 1-9, 10-16 is a walk. That's an out. That's an 8. That's going to be a base hit. So Flack will lead off with a hit, and he will head to first. He's not a bad he had 18 stolen bases out of 37. And let's see. 10. And let's see. Severide is an average. They'll go Flack. They'll keep him there right now. And that will bring up the shortstop, Charlie Holliker. He is 4 for 12, and he also has a bomb in the postseason in this series, or I should say in the tournament. Flack's on at first. Weilman will pitch. 51. Possible strikeout. The 9 is too high. It will now be an error check, and that's a possible 2-base error on the pitcher, and that is Carl Weilman. It's not happening. That's going to be an error rating of a 0. So he does not make an error. So I will roll to see what happens with a runner on first, and that's going to be an even number. So it's going to be a fielder's choice at second. So hit to Weilman, turns around, fires to second to get Flack. And Holliker will make it to first, and that is out number 1. But a fielder's choice for Weilman, as he does not make an error. His error rating is a 0. Next batter for the Cubs will be Les Mann. He is in left field, 3 for 12 for the tournament. Holliker on at first, not really. He had 16 stolen bases. He'll stay where he is, though. Weilman, 24, hit by pitch, 1-2, -1 from Weilman. The only way they get a hit by pitch is a 1. That's a 7. That is going to be an out, and that is going to be a ground ball to the shortstop, and it will be a fielder's choice at second unless the shortstop has a strong arm. The Browns, Gerber has a weak arm, so that is going to be a fielder's choice. So Holliker thrown out at second. Mann will take first, and that is out number 2. You're guessing not too many 0 error ratings in 1919. You would be correct. 2 outs. The next batter is Fred Merkel, and he is 4 for 12 for the tournament. He is at first base. Man on at first. Weilman with the pitch. 66. That's a 9, and that's going to be a double for Fred Merkel as he hits that hard. It's going to be a base hit to center field. First to home, scores if weak or average arm. Center fielder is Jacobson. He does have an average arm. So Mann is coming around from third. He will score, and it's 1-0 Cubs. So Fred Merkel gets the Cubs on the board first on a big-time double hit to center field, and that will bring home the run. RBI double for Merkel, and the Cubs already lead. Here in the bottom of the first. Next batter is the second baseman, Charlie Pick. He is 4 for 9 for the tournament. So Merkel on at second, RBI double for him. Cubs already up 1-0 here. Weilman will pitch. 36, and that is going to be an out. And I'm just going to see that's going to be a ground ball to second base. Taken care of there by Gideon. He will throw to first for the out. and that will retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits for the Cubs, 1-0 after 1. Devo9 GLA joins us here at Weegham Park. Got your strat order with the 20s and 30s teams, lots of 4 ranges and E30 and above. Well, yep. As I said, well, you know as well as I do know there, Devo9. You know that fielding took a back seat back in the day. Remember, there were over 3,000 errors in 1919, and that's divided by 16 teams. Last year, there were 2,500 errors, okay, in 2024, but that's divided by 30 teams. That's a very big difference. Leading off for the Browns will be Earl Smith. He is in right field, and he's 5 for 10 for the tournament. Hendricks will pitch. Remember, also, they had smaller gloves back in those days, too. 26, and that's going to be a base hit. Smith leads off with a hit, and he will come up there with a leadoff single. The Browns have a man on, and now the batter is Wally Gerber. Gerber is a shortstop. He's also 5 for 10. Smith not a threat to do anything. Pitch from Hendricks. 54, and let's see, that's going to be men on base wild pitch chance. Refer to wild pitch rating. If a 9, it falls within the range. Hendricks' wild pitch is a 1-7, and that is going to be ball 1. So no wild pitch. They will do it again. Hendricks will pitch. 34, and that's going to be a base hit. That's off a Hendricks card. That's going to be a base hit to center field. First to third advances on a weak arm, and center fielder for the Cubs is Dodi Paskert. He has a strong arm, so Smith's going to hold at second base. So that's going to be a single to move the runners up, as Gerber gets one there. Will Swingle and Clee baseball fan join us here at Weegham Park. Next up is the catcher, Hank Severide. He is 4 for 10 for the tournament. Runners at first and second, top of the second, 1-0 Cubs. Pitch from Hendricks, 53. That's a range check. If it's not a strikeout, it's not. And that's going to be a range check, a one-base single if the shortstop can't get it. Shortstop is Charlie Holliker. His range was pretty good. His range is a 13. So 13 and lower, he's got it. And he just did. That's a 12. He'll get that. So runners on first and second. Let's see here. Let's see what they got here. Runners on first and second. If D20 odd, it's a ground double play. That is an even number. So it's going to be a fielder's choice at second, and Smith will go to third. So 1 out is Gerber is out, and Severine will move up, and now the bases will be runners at the corners with 1 out. So fielder's choice there. And now the batter will be the pitcher, Carl Weilman. He had a 191 average and 4 RBIs in 1919. Yes, this has been a fun tournament, I got to admit. Fall Classic definitely gets my seal of approval. So now with runners at the corners and 1 out, the question is, do you want to bring the infield in for Weilman? I don't think so. I think you pitch. So they're going to go ahead and keep the infield back. Hendricks will pitch. That's a 62, and that is going to be an out. And that's going to be a ground ball to third. If playing in, it's a single, but they are not. So first and third. So let's see here. First and third, fielder's choice at home, 5-2. A third base with a strong arm starts a double play. Or third baseman strong arm can give up the double play to get out at home. Well, the third baseman for the Cubs is Charlie Deal. He has an average arm. So instead, that's going to be a fielder's choice at home and out number 2. So Smith is out, and the runners will move up, and they're now 2 away. Tough play there. Tough hit by Weilman. So Smith is out trying to get, and Weilman's on a fielder's choice, 2 down, and now the batter is Austin. Austin has got a single his first time up, but now 2 outs. Hendricks trying to get out of this little jam here. 1-0 favor of the Cubs early. And 22, a 1-15 is a walk. That's an 18, and instead, that's going to be an out. And that's going to be a ground ball right to first base. And that'll be taken care of there by Merkel. He'll take it to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. So the Browns had a very good opportunity, but they don't get anything. No runs, 2 hits for the Browns, and we'll go to the bottom of the second. Doug Hunt joins us here at Weegham Park. What do you think, Doug? Has this been a fun tournament to watch? I think it has been. Leading off for the Cubs will be Charlie Deal. He is at third base, and he's 3 for 9 for the tournament. Wildman will pitch. 42, that's going to be an out. And let's see, that's going to be a ground ball. That's going to be a ground ball to third. And that'll be handled there by Austin. Over to first it goes, 1 out. Next up is Dodi Paskert. He's the center fielder. He's 0 for 5. He's still looking for his first hit. Wildman will pitch. 21, and that's going to be an out. And that is also going to be a ground ball hit to third base. Once again, up with it is Austin, and he'll toss it over, 2 down. I'm actually just drawing the cards right now. I'm not really working on the die. Here comes Bill Killefer. He's the catcher, and he's 1 for 10. He had a 286 average in 1919. He's struggling, only a 1 for 10 average for this here. So 2 down. Wildman will pitch to Killefer. And 66 is going to come through. That's a 9, and that's going to be hit straight into right field. And Killefer is going to have himself a double. Bounces off the wall out there, and that keeps the inning alive. So here I am saying Bill Killefer has been struggling, and he leads off and he has a double here to keep the inning going. And now we'll see the pitcher, Claude Hendricks. He had a 192 average, 6 RBIs, and he did have a home run. And Ben Witt says pitchers that hit home runs are sexy. Killefer on at second. Wildman will pitch. 46. That is a no park home run. That's not happening. That's a 15. And against a righty, and that is going to be fouled off. That's going to be fouled down to the first base line. And going in there is Sisler, and he's going to make the catch. That's going to be a foul out to first. That's going to be a foul out to first base, and that will end the inning. So nothing there. No runs a hit for the Cubs. 1-0 here after 2. Nice to learn some of the names associated with classic baseball. Yes, that's another reason why I wanted this. I wanted this season, 1919. And one of these, and since I have the 1919 season, I would really like to replay that World Series between the White Sox and the Reds. I did that. I did replay the 1919 World Series in Stratomatic and in Action PC Baseball. The White Sox won. The White Sox won it in Action. The Reds won it in Stratomatic. That was the PC games. I've not done it. I have not done it. Cards and Dice. D. Scott Howard, the Boot Whisperer, joins us here at Weegham Park. Joe Gideon leads off for the Browns. He's 0 for 1. 1-0 Cubs, top of the third. Winner here goes to play the Pittsburgh Pirates in the championship on Sunday. 22, and that's going to be a base on balls. Gideon will draw a walk, and that is the third walk issued by Hendricks. So now here's Tobin. Tobin walked his first time up. Gideon not a threat to steal. He'll stay where he is. Hendricks with the pitch. 22, base hit for Jack Tobin. He'll get a single. That's going to be a base hit to left field. Gideon says first to third, hold or run with risk. He's going to hold at second base. He's a slow runner. He ain't going anywhere. He'll be happy with what he's got. So runners at first and second, no one out. And now, of course, one of the greatest of all time, George Sisler, will come up to bat, and he walked his first time up. You just think all the franchises combined in 1919 was worth less than Juan Soto. I think Juan Soto could buy 1919, 1920, 1921, 1922, 19. I think Juan Soto could buy maybe the entire dead ball era. Runners at first and second. Hendricks in a jam here in the top of the third. Sisler, the batter. 34, and that's going to be a base hit. That'll be a single for Sisler. Base hit to center field. Second to home. Fast runner advances, but a slow or average runner holds. It's not 2 outs, so there will not be assists. So the bases are going to be loaded since Gideon is a slow runner. So now the bases are full of Browns. And here comes Baby Doll. Baby Doll is 0 for 1. The Mets will no doubt regret that signing. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see about that. We'll see. Perhaps. I'm not going to say no doubt. I'm going to say perhaps. A lot of people thought the Dodgers would regret signing Shohei Ohtani for $770 million. I was one of them. They won the World Series last year. So you know what? We'll see. But yes, it is still 100% insanity, Davo9. I'm not arguing the amount of money. That's insane. Hendricks will pitch to Jacobson. Still no one out in the top of the third. The Browns have a very big chance to get something here. 56, and that is going to be a swing and a miss. Struck him out. What a big K. Jacobson strikes out for the second time. And that's only the second K by Hendricks, 1 out. That's a huge strikeout. With bases loaded, and now here's Gerber. Smith. Smith is up next, not Gerber. Smith and got a base hit his first time up. So bases loaded still now, 1 out. Cubs are playing double play. They're not going to play in. Hendricks will pitch. 62. And that is going to be an out. That's going to be an out, and that's going to be a fly out to left field. And on third base, Gideon's going to have plenty of time to get there. Everyone else will hold, but that is going to be a sacrifice fly. Gideon will score. We're tied at 1. So Earl Smith does wind up with a fly out to left. He will get an RBI and bring in the run. The other runners hold, and we're tied at 1 now. Here comes Gerber, and there are now 2 outs. Gerber got a single his first time up. Runner, if Hendricks can get out of this inning, only giving up 1 run, I think you call that a win. Hendricks, 11, and yep, that's going to be an out. That will be an out, and that's going to be a fly out to left field, and Mann will get to that one as well. He'll make the catch and retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits. Is all the Browns can get with bases loaded and no one out. But the game is tied as we go to the bottom of the third. Not sure the Federal Reserve in 1919 printed $765 million that year. I don't think they printed $765 million in the entire 1910s decade. I'm not sure. I don't know what America's gross national product or our gross national product was at that time. I have no idea. Top of the order for the Cubs. Here's Max Flack. And let's see. Flack got a single his first time up. Wildman will pitch. 65. That is a home run possibility. Wildman a 1-12. -4 makes him an 8. That's a 14. No, that's going to be a deep fly ball to center field. And going back for that is Baby Doll Jacobson. He's at the track. He is at the wall, but he is going to make the catch, and that's out number 1. Flack gave that a ride. A 1-12, 65, but -4 would make him an 8. That's a 14. Flack already does have a home run in this tournament. It was in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs when it looked like the Cubs were losing to the Cardinals. Here's Holliker. Holliker is 0 for 1. Wildman, 45, and that is going to be an out. And we'll call that a ground out to short. Gerber's got it, takes his time, tosses it over, 2 down. And now Mann. Mann is 0 for 1. Wildman will deal. 21, and that will be also an out, and that's also going to be grounded to short. And once again, picked up by Gerber, takes his time, throws it a little low, but Sisler's going to get it, and that will do it. 1, 2, 3, go the Cubs, tied at 1 after 3. Ron McGrath joins us here at Weegham Park. Let's go Cardinals. It's the Browns, Ron McGrath, not the Cardinals. The Cubs eliminated them. That's the Browns, the other team in St. Louis during that day. Hank Severide will lead off for the Browns, and he's 0 for 1. Hendricks will deal. 36, and that a single, 1 to 12. That's a 7. It's a base hit. Severide will lead off with a hit. He'll get his first hit of the game. And now the pitcher, Wildman. I'm fat, my bad. Pitcher, Wildman. Wildman's going to lay down the bunt. So he's going to try to bunt it here. So let's see here. So 1 to 5, he lays it down. And that is a 3. He does lay it down. And that is bunted to first base. So coming to pick it up is Merkel. Merkel has an average arm. So a 1 to 5, the bunt is successful. And it is. And it is. So a nice play pickup there by Merkel. He'll throw to Hendricks covering to get it there. And Severide will move to second. And that's the first out. So successful bunt by Wildman. And that is a sacrifice hit to first. The next batter is Austin. Austin is 1 for 2. The Browns were sometimes the forgotten club of St. Louis, Shane. Yes, they were. Severide on at second. Hendricks will pitch to Austin. Hendricks, 65. That's a home run possibility. A 1 to 12, minus 11. So the only way he hits a home run is a 1. Well, that's a 20, and that's not even close. That is not even close, and that is going to be, and I keep on forgetting, I want to check one thing on that. I think it's an automatic flyout, isn't it? Let's see something here. Let's see. See the 5 are out. I think that's just a flyout, isn't it? Or I actually, actually, no, I draw. And that's going to be, instead, he is hitting from the left side. So that's going to be a ground out to second instead. And Severide will advance to third. So no home run. I wanted to check that. And that's out number 2. So Severide does move to third base on the grounder to second. And now the batter is Gideon. David Baker joins us here at Weegham Park. Hendricks will pitch. 61, swing and a miss, struck him out, and he gets out of that inning too. Third strikeout for Hendricks. No runs and a hit for the Browns as they let one get away a little bit. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Both pitchers are C pitchers tonight. But even with C pitchers, we actually got ourselves a decent pitchers duel. Fred Merkel leads off for the Cubbies. He got a double his first time up. Wildman will pitch. 51, possible strikeout, no. So now it's a possible error, and that's going to be a possible error on the shortstop. Shortstop for the Browns is Gerber. His error rating is a 12. So a 1 to 12, he makes an error. He won't. Nice play by Wally Gerber. He gets it, gets up from his knees, throws to first, and nailed him. 1 out. Hell of a play by Wally Gerber to avoid the error. And he'll get him. Next batter is Pick, and Pick is 0 for 1. Wildman deals 24, hit by pitch 1 to 12, hit by pitch -1 makes him an 11. That's a 6, and he plunked him. Ouch. So Wildman does hit Pick, and Pick will trot on a hit batter. I do not use the 3-batter rule in this tournament. They can hit him as many times as they want. Pick is a threat, as a definite stealing threat, though. He had 17 stolen bases out of 37, though. He has a 9. I don't know if you send him on this, but he's a fast runner. I don't know if he's a fast runner on this. I say no. I'm gonna let Deal bat. Deal is 0 for 1. 1 out here. Pick on it first. Wildman. 52. That's not going to be a strikeout. It's a possible error chance. And that's going to be a possible error again on the shortstop. It would be a 1-base error. Coming in for it is Gerber. Once again, Gerber's error rating is a 12. He comes in and he will not make the play this time. He's going to bobble it, drop it, bobble it, drop it. By the time he picks it up, everyone's safe. So that's going to be an E6 this time. First error on the Browns. Gerber doesn't make that one. It's only a 1-base error, so now runners at first and second for Paskert. Paskert is 0 for 1. So now 1 error on the Browns here. Tied at 1, bottom of the 4th. Wildman will pitch. 43, and let's see here. Walk 1 to 6, that's a 20. That will not be a walk, and that is going to be a ground out to short. And with runners at first and second, fielder's choice at second, strong batter, slow batter, ground ball double play. No, Paskert is an A. He is not a slow batter, so that's going to be a fielder's choice. So Peck will move to third. Deal is out. Paskert goes to first. There are now 2 outs. I do like how these cards pretty much really tell you how the play works. Fielder's choice for Paskert, and now the batter is Killefer. Killefer got a double his first time up. But now 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Wildman sets in there. He's the lefty. He'll look in on Killefer. And now the pitch. 64, and that will be an out, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. Up with it this time is Gerber. He's not going to make an error. He's going to throw to first to get Killefer, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits. There was an error and a hit batter. Tied at 1 after 6. I'm sorry, tied at 1 after 4. Top of the 5th. Jack Tobin leads off for the Browns, and he's 1 for 1, single and walk. Hendricks with the deal. 41, that's going to be based on balls. He'll walk Tobin. Hendricks not having good control today. And that is the 4th walk given up by Hendricks. And it'll bring up Sisler. Sisler 1 for 1, also a single and a walk. Ryan Sullivan joins us here at Weegham Park. Tobin on it first. Hendricks will pitch. 14, and that's going to be an out. And if it's a ground ball, it is going to be a double play, and that's exactly what it is. It's going to be a ground out to second, taken care of there by Pick. Throws to Holliker, back over to Merkel, 2 outs. 6-4-3 double play, as Sisler did not hit into many ground double plays, but that X means he does if it is a ground ball. And that's exactly what it is, 2 outs. Here's Jacobson. He struck out twice, 0 for 2. Hendricks 36, and that a single 1-12. That's an 11. This time Jacobson gets a base hit. He'll get a single on that. How big now is that double play? And now here's Smith. Smith is 1 for 2. 2 men out, top of the 5th. Hendricks sets up against Smith. 35, and that's a single for Earl Smith. That'll be a base hit to left field. First to third hold. If 1 out assists, there are 2 outs. So that means that Jacobson's going to hold at second base. He is a fast runner. On a base hit to left field, there was 1 out. There would be a play at third. But since there are 2 outs, I'm going to hold him at second. So a go-ahead run in scoring position. And now a chance for Gerber to try to make up for the error. He's 1 for 2. He does have a single in the game. Hendricks will go ahead and pitch. 13, and that will be an out. And that is going to be a ground ball hit to third base. Picked up by Deal. He's going to throw to first to get Gerber, and that will do it. No runs, 2 hits, and a walk for the Browns. They're getting base runners, but they're not getting them in. And we'll go to the bottom of the 5th here. Leading off for the Cubs will be the pitcher, Claude Hendricks. He fouled out. He fouled out his first time up, and he will bat. Wildman will deal the pitch. 56, and that is going to be a swing and a miss. Struck him out. And that is the first strikeout for Carl Wildman. He only had 44 of them in 1919. So definitely not a strikeout pitcher. And he pitched 148 innings. Here's Flack. Flack is 1 for 2. Wildman with the deal. 23, and that's hit. That's going to be an out, and that will be a ground ball hit to first base. That'll be picked up by Sisler. He'll take it to the bag himself for out number 2. Here's Holliker. Holliker is 0 for 2. Wildman, they'll go ahead and pitch. 12, that is also an out, and that's going to be a line drive. That's going to be a line out right to center field. And let's see. If white die is 1, it is not. So it's a line drive hit hard to center field. Jacobson don't have to move. He's just going to make the catch and retire the side. 1, 2, 3, go the Cubs. Tied at 1 after 5. Both these pitchers are C pitchers. The thing about it is the Browns are getting hits. The Browns have 8 hits in the game, have stranded a number of base runners. The Cubs have only 3 hits in the ball game so far. Let's go to the 6th. Tied at 1 here. And Hank Severide leads off against Hendricks. Severide's 1 for 2. 41, that's a base on balls. Hendricks continues to walk, and Severide goes to first. So Hendricks just keeps on giving up free passes, but he keeps on getting out of the jams. And here's Wildman. Wildman will go ahead and bunt. So he'll lay down the bunt attempt. Sacrifice chances of 1 to 5. So 1 to 5, he lays it down. That is a 6. That is not a good bunt. That's going to be a pop-up. And if this roll is a 2, Severide is out. No, that's a pop fly ball. Severide will get back to first. That's out number 1 as Wildman pops that one out. And that's going to be a pop-up to... I will make it a pop-up to the pitcher. Hendricks gets it. So 1 out as Wildman can't move him over. Here comes Austin. Austin is 1 for 3. Browns weren't horrible in 1919. They were 67 and 72. There were only 5 games under 500. They were scrappy. Hendricks will pitch. 23. That is going to be an out, and it's going to be a fly out to center. Severide will hold as Tasker will make the play. 2 outs. And now here's Gideon. Gideon is 0 for 2 with a walk. Fans here at Weegham Park checking their cell phones, going ahead and looking in, see what they want to buy on Ticketmaster. They're checking Amazon. They're checking Amazon here. Not the Cubs, Cutter Historical, the Browns. The Cubs were 75 and 65. The Browns were 5 games under 500. As Cutter Historical joins us here at Weegham Park. Hendricks will pitch. 35. That's going to be a base hit. And that's going to be a base hit to left. Severide will hold it second. So a single for Gedian keeps the inning going. And once again, Hendricks in a jam. And now here's Tobin. Tobin 1 for 1, a single, and walked twice. You heard Cubs, not Browns. No, Browns were the Browns were 5 games under 500. They were scrappy. The Cubs weren't bad either. 77 and 7. They were 75 and 65. Cubs were also pretty good. They were not bad. 2 men down here, top of the 6th, tied at 1. Hendricks will pitch. 31, and that's going to be a base hit. And the question is, will it score? Base hit to right field. Second to home scores if weak or average arm, but if there are 2 outs, all will score. Well, there are 2 outs. So Severide will come around, and he will score for the Browns. First to third hold, so Gedian holds at second base. Tobin has an RBI single, 2-1 Browns. Stadium groans. RBI single for Jack Tobin, who so far has been pretty much a hero for the Browns in this series or in this tournament. And now Sisler. Sisler is 1 for 2, singled and walked. So now 2 outs. Sisler a good chance to bring somebody in, but now a 2-1 Browns lead. Hendricks looking in, and he'll pitch. 52. That is not going to be a strikeout. That could be an error, and that may be an error on the second baseman. It would only be a 1 base error. Second baseman for the Cubs is Pick. His error rating is a 14. So if it's a 1 to 14, everybody's safe. No, it's a 16. What a great play there by Charlie Pick. You'll get to it. He's going to throw to first against Sisler, and the inning is over. What a play. Ground out to second. Pick does not make an error. He's got it. And he makes a great play, and at least not make an error and get the out. But the Browns have taken the lead. 1 run on 2 hits and a walk. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. But we know the Cubs are never say die Cubs. The Cubs have been behind in every game so far and have come back to win it. Will they continue that tradition? Here is Les Mann leading off for the Cubs. He's 0 for 2. Weilman will pitch. 25, that will be an out, and that's a fly ball hit to center field. And that will be handled there by Baby Doll, and that's out number 1. Next up is Merkel. Merkel 1 for 2 has a double. Weilman, they'll go ahead and pitch. 34, that's a base hit. Merkel will go ahead and get a single, and the Cubs have the tying man on. Merkel gets his second hit of the game. The next batter is Pick. And Pick got hit by a pitch his last time up. He is 0 for 1. Merkel on it first. He is a pretty good steal threat, though. He had 20 stolen bases. Pick an average hitter. Pick an average hitter. Let me see something. 1 minute. Give me 1 second. I want to check the rule on one thing here. One thing I keep on forgetting. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. All right. Merkel's going to stay at first. Pick will go ahead and pitch. Wildman, 63. That is going to be an out, and that's going to be a fly out to center field. A super fast runner advances. A fast runner too, unless it's a strong arm. Merkel has average speed. He's not going anywhere. That's going to be out number 2. Baby Doll will go ahead and get it. 2 outs now for Deal. And Deal is 0 for 1, but he reached on an error his last time up. 2 outs. Browns lead 2-1, bottom of the 6th. Wildman, 52, possible strikeout. The 10 is no good. And we're going to see it's a possible error. And a possible error on the third baseman, a 2-base error. Going after that is Jimmy Austin. Austin's error rating is an 11, and he'll make the play. Austin will go ahead and get that, takes his time, throws to second to get Merkel, and the inning is over. Austin does not make an error. He'll get that. He'll throw to second, and then the inning. No runs and a hit. 2-1 Browns after 6. How long will the Cubs' magic hold out? Great play there by Jimmy Austin to not make an error. Remember, errors were very common back then. So really, if an error roll comes up and you don't make it, that should make national headlines. Top of the 7th. And Baby Doll Jacobson leads off for the Browns. And he's 1 for 3. Hendricks still has plenty left in the tank. He's got about 5 batters left before he gets tired. Nobody's getting shelled. Really, the last game yesterday, 2 days ago, one of the pitchers was getting shelled, and I should have probably yanked him out. Still learning some of the rules. Hendricks will pitch. 41, base on balls again. He continues to walk leadoff batters. So Hendricks walks another leadoff batter, and that is the 4th leadoff batter he's walked. And yet, the Browns only have 2 runs. Next batter is Smith. Jacobson had 9 stolen bases. Might not be a bad idea to try to steal here. It was 9 for 16. Hendricks has an average arm. He's a righty. To see if he gets the jump, it would be a 1-2. I'm going to take a chance here. A 1-2, Jacobson does not get the jump. And he doesn't. He goes back to first. He does not get the jump, as Hendricks does a good job keeping him at first. And now Smith will go ahead and bat. Were errors more prominent in scores judgment in the early 1920s and the 2020s? You know, Cutter, that's a very good question. You think maybe you figure that in these days, okay, you think in these days that if it's a tough play, our scorers would probably give a base hit if it was a tough chance. But maybe back in those days, maybe if it was a tough chance, they still think they should have made the play and gave him an error anyway. I'm sure you'll agree with me when we watch a ball game, there were many errors that were called. There have been many errors that should have been called hits, and there have been many hits that should have been called errors. I think at least watching baseball the last few years, I think we can agree with that. Hendricks will pitch to Smith. 34, that's a base hit. It's going to be a single for Smith. Base hit to center field. A fast run will advance to third. Jacobson is a fast runner. He will make it to third base. And now runners at the corners and no one out. That's the 3rd hit of the game for Earl Smith. And the batter now is Gerber. Cubs are going to call the infield in. They're down 2-1. And the way Hendricks is pitching, they're not 100% sure. Gerber is 1 for 3. They're going to call the infield in on this one. Jacobson on at third. Smith on at first. Hendricks will pitch to Gerber. Nobody out. 2-1 Browns. Winner here plays the Pirates in the championship Sunday night. Hendricks will pitch. 23, and that will be an out. And that is going to be a fly ball to left field, but that's deep enough. That's going to be caught by Les Mann. Jacobson has plenty of speed. He'll cross the plate. 3-1 Browns. Stadium groans. That'll be a fly out to left and an RBI for Wally Gerber. And now a 3-1 lead. And the way Wildman's pitching, that could be enough. And now here's Severide. Severide 1 for 2, a single and a walk. Infield now back here, 1 out. Smith on it first. He's not going to run nowhere. Hendricks will pitch. 42, that's a base on balls. That's a walk. Hendricks continues to show that he's losing these batters. And now the next batter is Carl Wildman, and he's going to bat. He's going to swing away here. Runners at first and second. Hendricks will be tired after Wildman. They're going to let him pitch to Wildman. They're not going to go ahead and bring out. They're going to let Hendricks pitch to Wildman here, the pitcher. But if he gives up a run, he's out of here. So runners at first and second, 1 out. 3-1 Browns. Hendricks will deal. 62, and that will be an out. And that's going to be a fly out to right field. Smith will hold. Severide will hold. 2 down. As Wildman did not hit it deep enough. So now 2 outs. And now Hendricks is tired. Here comes Austin. And I usually don't like going past the one thing about this game, it does slightly devastate the pitchers because all outs become walks or something like that if he's a C grade. I'm going to take him out. That means you don't want to hit anywhere here. And they're going to take Hendricks out. He said, I've had enough. And that will yank him out. So they'll take Hendricks out. And they're going to bring in somebody else to pitch to Austin. He's a switch hitter. It really doesn't matter what arm they put out there. And coming on to pitch is going to be Lefty Tyler. 2 wins, 2 losses. Lefty Tyler probably just trying to get 1 out. So Hendricks leaves with the L. Tyler trying to get 1 out here. So now runners at first and second, 2 away. Austin is 1 for 4. Lefty Tyler will pitch. 11, and he will get out of it. That's going to be an out, and that's going to be hit to right field. Max Flack will get to it. He'll make the catch and retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 walks. A sacrifice fly does get the run in. Browns have a 3-1 lead here. As we are at the 7th inning stretch. Sing, take me out to the ball game. I'll be right back. There will be no baseball tomorrow night for Saturday night. The championship game for this series will be on Sunday night. The Pittsburgh Pirates are there, and they will have Babe Adams, their number 1 pitcher, going for the Pirates. If the Browns get there, it will be Urban Shocker pitching for the Browns. If the Cubs get there, it'll be Pete Grover Cleveland Alexander. So either way, you're going to get a great pitcher against Babe Adams against the Pirates. Either Urban Shocker or Grover Cleveland Alexander. Can't go wrong with either one of those guys. Both of them, can't go wrong with either one of them. We go to the bottom of the 7th here, 3-1 Browns. Carl Wileman staying on the mound. He's still got plenty left in the tank. Of course, they didn't have, I don't know how much gasoline was used back in those days. In 1919, I know they had cars, but I don't know what kind of gas they ran on. Ethanol or something. Bottom of the 7th, Dodie Paskert, steam, something like that. The Pirate. If the Cubs win, Weegham Park will host it because they're the number 6 seed. The Pirates are the 8th seed. So if the Cubs come back and win this game, Weegham Park will have it. If the Browns win it, Forbes Field will have it. We'll have the championship game. Dodie Paskert leading off, and they're going to call him back because Paskert right now he's 0 for 2, and they got to get some base. They got to get some runs in here. So it's coming in the bat is going to be Lee McGee, and he's going to take over in center field. So Lee McGee will take over in center, and he's 10S64, not bad. (10S64). So Lee McGee will pinch hit and take over at center for the Cubs. So 3-1 Browns. They're holding on to a 3-1 lead, but we know that the Cubs are very capable of coming back. Wileman will pitch. 62, and that is going to be an out, and it's going to be hit to center field, and Jacobson will get to that one, and it'll be caught by the baby doll. 1 out. Next batter is Killefer. He'll bat. Killefer is 1 for 2. He has a double. Wileman will pitch. 43. A 1-6 is a walk. That's a 15. Instead, that is going to be an out, and that's hit to right. Earl Smith will come under it and make the catch. 2 down. Lefty Tyler due up next. Let me see what kind of a card he has for hitting. And let's see. Lefty Tyler, I'm pretty sure he has it. He doesn't have a card. Okay. He does have a card, but that would be a fringe. They're going to pinch hit for him. Tyler coming out of the game, and the Cubs are going to go to the bullpen, go to the bench, and they're going to go with Turner Barber. 313 average, 21 RBIs. So Turner Barber will bat with 2 outs here on the bottom of the 7th. I guess parity existed in 1919. Maybe it did. Remember, it's one game, Anything can happen when it's just one game. Who knows? Like I said, I would like to replay the White Sox-Reds World Series. Maybe I may do that in the next off season. I have some hockey bones I want to try to play with you guys, some hockey, and I'm also doing some other stuff. And I also did pick up some History Maker Baseball. I have the all-time franchise greats. I want to try an exhibition game. And yes, I do have the tennis game too. I do have the tennis game. I know. I do have tennis. I'm trying to get as much in here because, for those of you wondering, the 1983 Inside Pitch demo game is only 2 weeks away. The 1983 demo game between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Baltimore Orioles is for Sunday, December 29th. We're only 2 weeks away from the demo game, which officially opens up the Inside Pitch 1983 season replay. With, of course, opening day on January 6th between the Braves and the Reds. Wileman will pitch to Barber. 11. A 1 to 10's a single. That's a 6, and it's a base hit. Barber will get a base hit. So he comes off the bench and gets a hit. Like I said, you just don't see managing like this on that other channel with the fluffy cat. And now here's Flack. Barber on it first. Flack is 1 for 3. Wileman's got to be careful with Flack. Wileman can give up a home run here. 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th, 3-1 Browns. Wileman, 31 base hit. That's a single. And let's see what we got here. Base hit to right field. Faster average to third. Barber is an average runner. He'll make it to third. Runners in the corners, 2 out. With runners in the corners now. With 2 outs. So Flack picks up a single. And now the Cubs have runners at the corners here. With 2 men away. And now here's Holliker. Holliker is 0 for 3. They go talk to Wildman on the mound. Here comes Jimmy Burke, the manager of the Browns. He's going to talk to Wildman real quick. So can you get me one more out here? Wildman, we'll see what he can do. Barber on at third, Flack on at first. Holliker sets up. The fans here at Weegham Park know the Cubs have a chance. Wildman deals. 26, and against a righty, that would be a single. But Wildman is a lefty, and that is going to be an out. And that's going to be a ground ball to second base. Taking care of that is Gideon. He's got it, and he's going to throw to the shortstop, covering second, and end the inning. No runs, 2 hits for the Cubs. A heck of a chance, and that goes by the board. 3-1 after 7. Stadium groans. Go 1983 Brewers and 1983 Tigers. I want to say go 1983 Mets, but my Mets in 1983 were, well, they were pretty bad. They were pretty bad. Although 1983, in a way, 1983 was pretty much the birth of the birth of the 1986 Mets, if you want to say that, because they had players on 83 that would win in 86. So 1983, in a way, was the birth of the 86 Mets. Top of the 8th inning, 3-1 Browns. Joe Gideon's going to lead off. He has 1 for 3, a single and a walk. Cubs need a pitcher, a righty and 2 lefties. And they're going to go with, coming on to pitch for the Cubs is going to be Phil Douglas. 10 wins, 6 losses, a 104 whip. So Douglas will be the 3rd Cub pitcher. Yeah, they were a bit subpar. Yeah. Douglas will pitch to Gideon. Let's see what kind of a thing he is. And he's going to be an A pitcher. So Phil Douglas is going to do pretty good. So Phil Douglas is an A pitcher for the Cubs. And we'll see. Douglas will pitch to Gideon. 64, and that's going to be an out. And it will be flied out to center. Coming in is Lee McGee, who now takes over in center field for Paskert, and that's out number 1. Next up is Tobin. Tobin, 2 for 2. 2 singles, 2 walks. He's been on base every single at bat. Douglas, 56, but not this time. And that is grounded right back to Douglas. Douglas will take care of that and throw to first for out number 2. And now here's Sisler. Sisler is 1 for 3, singled and walked. Can George Sisler come through with a big hit here? Douglas will pitch. 42, and that is going to be an out, and that's going to be a grounder to second base. Easy play there for Pick. They'll toss it over and retire the side. 1, 2, 3, go the Browns, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. Wildman comes back up. Wildman is due to bat 5th in the 9th inning. Wildman says, I can keep it going, guys. Let me pitch. Heart of the order for the Cubs. Here's Les Mann, and he is 0 for 3. Fans here at Weegham Park have seen their Cubs get close, but can't really get it across. 3-1 Browns. Wildman will pitch. 34. That's going to be a leadoff base hit. And Mann will get a single and head to first. That's his first hit of the game. It'll bring up Merkel. Merkel 2 for 3, a single and a double. Wildman looking in. Merkel ready to make a big hit. Mann does have pretty good steal rating. He's not going anywhere. Wildman will pitch. 61. That's a swing and a miss. Struck him out. And that is a big K. And that is only the second strikeout for Wildman. One away. And now here's Pick. Pick is 0 for 2, but got hit by a pitch. Fans once again at Weegham Park waving the terrible towels. Wildman will deal. 53. That's a possible strikeout, but the 3 is too high. And now it's a range play. And that is a possible double to center field. It will score man, but it's a range play for the center fielder, and that is Baby Doll Jacobson. He is going after it. He wasn't too bad. His range is an 11. Chasing after the ball. He goes after it, and he'll make the catch. 2 outs. That'll be a fly out to center as Baby Doll Jacobson. I don't think it's the Cubs' Baby Doll right now. 2 down. So a great play there by Baby Doll Jacobson. Definitely saved a run. And now here's Deal. That would have scored man. So now 2 outs here. And Wildman will pitch. 62. That's going to be an out. And that is going to be a fly ball to center field. And this time, Jacobson doesn't have to go far. He's just going to stay there, let the ball come to him. Makes the catch. And retire the side. No runs and a hit for the Cubs. And the Browns are leading the Cubs 3-1. And the Chicago Cubs, I've said this before about them, are running out of outs. We will go to the top of the ninth. Phil Douglas back on the mound. And leading off will be Baby Doll Jacobson. And he is 1 for 3, a single and a walk. What a heck of a play by Baby Doll out there. That definitely saved a run. Douglas will go ahead and pitch. 61. That is a cold strike 3 on Jacobson. Got him. Jacobson probably should have swung at that one. And Baby Doll does have the hat trick. That's the 3rd time he struck out. And now here's Smith. Smith is 3 for 4, having a great night tonight. 3 singles. Douglas will go ahead and pitch. 16, and that is an out. And that's going to also be a fly ball to center. Lee McGee will come in and get it. 2 down. As Phoenix Knight joins us here at Weegham Park. And now here's Gerber. Gerber is 1 for 4. Has a single. Fans here at Weegham hoping Douglas keeps it where it is. Douglas will pitch. 62, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. Struck him out, and the inning is over. Nice job by Douglas. And 1, 2, 3 go the Browns, but they have a 3-1 lead. But will we see some 9th inning magic? It is the bottom of the order for the Cubs, though. Lee McGee leads off for the Cubs. And he is 0 for 1. Question is Wildman going to pitch? Brown's going to check the bullpen. And let's see if they're going to let Wildman pitch. And the answer is, believe it or not, the answer is yes. Wildman actually has the lowest whip of all the Browns pitchers that are in the bullpen right now. Wildman is going to pitch. He can pitch to 3 batters before he tires. Then we'll bring in somebody if he can just get him done here. Philip Reynolds joins us here at Weegham Park. So Lee McGee leads off for the Cubs. Bottom of the 9th, 3-1. Cubs never say die. Wildman will pitch. 14, and that is going to be an out, and that's a hit. That's a hard line drive to second base, and that's gloved by Gideon. 1 out. McGee got a hold of it, but not hard, but just right at right at Gideon. And now here's Killefer. John Haverly joins us here at Weegham Park. Killefer is 1 for 3. He's got a double. Wyoming looking on. Fans here at Weegham still rooting for their Cubs. Wyoming will pitch. 52. Possible strikeout, no, but it is a possible error. And that's 52. It's a possible error on the second baseman. The ball is hit to Gideon. Gideon did not make many errors. His error rating is a 5. A 1 to 5, he makes it. No, Gideon will get this one with no problem. Throws to first, 2 away. Joe Gideon, his error rating is a 5, which is darn good for that, which is actually excellent for that. And now there'll be a pinch hitter for Phil Douglas as the Cubs are down to their last man, last out. And they will bring up the best hitter they have on the bench. And that is going to be Buck Herzog. 275 average, 17 RBIs, no homers. So Buck Herzog coming on here for the Cubs, trying to get one more. Carl Wyman trying to close the deal. He will be tired if Herzog gets on. They're going to see if Wyman can finish it. Fans here at Weegham Park flashing the cell phones. The lights are flashing everywhere all over Weegham Park. Look at all those lights and those drones and the fireworks and all those jet planes flying. Oh, yeah, 1919. Wyoming will pitch. 22, it's a base hit. Herzog keeps it alive. Herzog gets a single and the tying run coming to the plate. And that batter is Max Flack, who hit the home run in the bottom of the 9th against the Cardinals to send that series and that game into extra innings. Flack is 2 for 4. Wyoming is now tired. I just want to see something on fatigued pitchers. One more here. So let's see. Batters faced. Pitcher moves to grade D. 31, 32, 34, 36, 56, 64 are always singles. 41 to 43, 45 are always walks. Wow. That is just devastating. His entire card. Grade D for Sheldon fatigue pitchers. That entire card becomes nothing. They got to pull him. They're going to take out Wyoming. What a job he did. He leaves with a W. But this pretty much means that all of these become singles and walks. And he's coming out. And the Browns will go to the bullpen. And they're going to bring on the best pitcher they have that's in the bullpen. And let's see. Max Flack is a lefty. And they're going to go with him. Coming on to pitch to try to get one out. Lefty Leafield. 6 wins, 4 losses, a 132 whip. So Lefty Leafield will come on to pitch, and he is going to be a pitcher. So he's going to have his best up. So Jimmy Burke talks to Leafield and say, hey, look, just get us one out here. Just one out. Max Flack, who hit the bomb with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th to send the Cubs into extra innings where they would win. The fans here at Weegham Park know they got the guy that can do it. Leafield looking on. He gets the sign from Severide. Leafield looks again back to Burke. Burke says, give him the heat. Leafield will go ahead and he will pitch. 33, it's a base hit. That's going to be a single. It's a base hit to right field. And Herzog will advance as he's a fast runner and with a weak arm or with 2 outs on an average arm, he'll advance. The ball is hit to right field. That is Smith. He has a strong arm. Herzog holds at second. So it's a base hit to right field, but a great throw by Earl Smith keeps Herzog at second base. So Max Flack keeps the inning going He's now 3 for 5, and now it's up to Charlie Holliker. Holliker is 0 for 4. Fans here saying they can do it again. Holliker does have a very little home run power. Be very difficult to hit a home run here over Layfield. Herzog on it second. Flack on it first. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, 3-1 Browns. Cubs trying to do it again. Layfield looks in on Holliker, and here comes the pitch. 51. That is a 9. Not a strikeout, but that could be an error. That could be an error, and that's going to be a 2-base error to the shortstop if he can't make the play. Shortstop is Wally Gerber. His error rating is a 12. If he makes an error, the batters will run 2 bases. Gerber goes after it. He dives. And he makes an error, and the Cubs are going to get a run. Herzog will score. Fleck goes to third. Holliker to first. It's 3-2. Stadium cheers. Yay! And actually, Holliker's at second base. 2-base error. So Fleck scores. Not Fleck. Herzog scores. Fleck is on third. Holliker's on second. It's now 3-2. A huge error on Gerber. That's an E6. And that is the second error on the Browns. And now the batter is Les Mann. Les Mann had a .227 batting average. He is 1 for 4. Mann is in left field. Do the Cubs have anybody else to bring out? Yes, they can. And they do have another left fielder I can bring in. Les Mann's going to... Or do you do that? I think maybe you do. Les Mann's going to come out of the game, and coming on to bat for the Cubs is going to be Pete Kilduff. .273 average, 8 RBIs. The new left fielder will be Dave Robertson if they keep this game going. So Dave Robertson will take over in left field, but Pete Kilduff will come out to bat. Runners at second and third, and I wonder if you walk him and pitch to Merkel. Merkel is just about as good a hitter as Kilduff is. And I think you maybe do. I agree with Davo9. Kilduff is good. They're going to walk him, and the bases are going to be loaded. So they walk Kilduff, and now the batter will be Fred Merkel. Merkel is 2 for 4, a single and a double. He will bat. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Bottom of the ninth. Now a 3-2 ball game. Lefty Layfield trying to get this game over. The fans here at Weegham Park cannot believe the Cubs are once again a chance. A single could win this game. Layfield looks on. Merkel gets ready for the sign. Once again, another big game here for the Cubs. Layfield will pitch. 42. And that's going to do it. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. Coming in for it is Baby Doll Jacobson. He takes a couple of steps to his right, puts out his glove, blop, and the ball falls into it. That's your game. The Browns eliminate the Cubs 3-2. They will play the Pirates in the championship. Stadium barfs. Yeah. A 42 was an out, and I drew a fly out to center, and that's an easy play for Baby Doll Jacobson, as the Browns will hold off the Cubs. No more magic this time. Final line score coming up. There was one run. There was one run on on 2 hits, an error, and a walk. For the Browns, 3 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. For the Cubs, 2 runs, 9 hits, no errors. The winning pitcher is Carl Wildman. He'll go ahead and get the win. Claude Hendricks will take the loss. And lefty Layfield is going to wind up with a save. So Layfield comes in and gets the save. And the Chicago Cubs are 1 and gone. That means the championship game will be Sunday night in this 1919 one and gone tournament. It will be at Forbes Field. The St. Louis Browns will take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pitching for the Browns is going to be Urban Shocker. Pitching for the Pirates is going to be Babe Adams. It should be a heck of a matchup between those two. The 1919 tournament is finally at its last game. That'll be Sunday night after the NFL. The Browns at the Pirates at Forbes Field. Be there or be square. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Please leave a like on your way out to the turnstiles. Subscribe if you've not done so. Make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong. I'll probably do something tomorrow night for those that want to watch and waiting for baseball. We'll see you Sunday night. The Browns go ahead and knock off the Cubs. They had all that magic, but this time the magic went out. Browns over the Cubs 3-2. It'll be the Browns at the Pirates Sunday night. We'll see you then.